Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome or welcome back. Yes, I'm going to stand up. I've got a candle lit to welcome in all of our guides, our angels, our ascended masters, teachers, our higher selves, our God presences, all beings of unconditional light, earthly, cosmically, realms, all right? Only those beings of unconditional love and light that are working with us now in this present moment are welcome into this space. As always, welcoming the elementals, right? The air and the wind, the earth, the fire, the water, and the ether. I've got the diffuser going. I'm going to light some incense and set it down here, hopefully and not choke on it. All right, so I 4-4 on the timer. 4-4-4, 2-2-2-2, 1-1-1-1, all of the numbers. All right, we got some messages today. So if you caught the bathtub channeled message, perfect. This is now the written version, the version that came through literally while I climbed into the bathtub. So you will resonate that you receive downloads, you know, in between sleep, in the shower, in the bath, in nature. All right. So this is the channeled bath message. And again, this is to all beings, especially those that are looking into 122, into being some type of spiritual practitioner, healing arts. I like to use the healing arts, the spiritual arts in the sense, and that could look like Reiki, all versions of Reiki, some form of intuitive massage therapy, intuitive reader, tarot reader, Akashic reader, psychic, medium, seer, whatever it is, okay? This message is especially for you. Source, she came in really hot with this, and if you received the message, there's a lot of fire energy with this yesterday, and so I'm going to reread it. And again, this message is going to be broadcasted a few times. It feels like she wants me to share this a few more times, and however it comes out. All right, and it's come out in its own way, but this is like what came through while I was in my bath, okay? Basically, authentic self is what came through, authentic self. Standing in your authenticity and power is key right now. It's so important now. Why? Because this breaks the codes and it recodes this game, this school system, okay? So by you standing in your authenticity and your authentic power, your truth, with zero fucks, right? Zero fucks, and you stand in that, and you're unapologetic, thank you for that. This breaks the system, this breaks the codes, and it allows it to decode everything, and it allows you to be able to recode your reality as well as the collective consciousness, okay? It recodes everything, okay? So not just for you, but for the collective consciousness, all right? And this next section came in all capital letters. No more filters from the spiritual community. No more filters. And if you've been awakened for a while and you've been practicing these particular practices, Source said last night, what came through last night in the verbal channel, post-bath, wrapped up in my robe and towels, is that it was necessary, 333 on the timer, my beautiful ascended masters, teachers, and mentors, that it was necessary for then, but the frequency has raised so high now that there is no more time for filters. The filtering has to stop. The adjusting or trying to figure out the right words to say has to stop. The message needs to come through pure, messy, clear, unapologetic, authentic, with no variations, okay? This is what's, and again, this has been coming through quite a bit, especially since a full-blown channel. I went into full-blown channel last Thursday, okay? So this has been coming in more and more and more since then in its own way, all right? So you may have filtered your messages in the past for your clients or for others, family members, friends, or other souls that you ran into that you felt called to have conversation with. You know what this is. You know what this is. Or if you're just awakening, you might start experiencing this more and more where you're placed in certain situations, whether it be a store, whether it be a class, whether it be some type of gathering, you are placed there, whether it's just for your frequency and energy or whether it's more than that. It's also verbal communication and interaction, okay? Source expresses to delivered the message. So source expresses to deliver the messages authentically through your channel. Let me say that again. Source expresses to, all capital letters, to deliver the messages, to deliver the messages authentically through your channel, unfiltered by the ego, mind, and small self. As they come through, this is pure and sometimes uncomfortable, but it's unfiltered and it's authentic in its authenticity. So as they come through pure, and yes, sometimes uncomfortable, maybe for you saying that and the other person receiving the channeled message, but it needs to be unfiltered and authentic, okay? Quit second guessing, all right? This has been a huge lesson for me, and this is why I've learned not to edit, not to anything with my, basically I went from here to here. I don't know what in between is. It's either I was doing all of the filtering and I healed and now it's like completely unfiltered, okay? And that's exactly perfect for my channel and how Source wants to channel through me, with me, and co-create, okay? In all of its ways. So quit second guessing the messages that were delivered to my harsh. They are not in all capital letters, exclamation point. It is perfect, exclamation point. It is all perfect because it is coming from the source. And what came through, I'm going to add this in here. This is what came through in the message yesterday. If you are questioning this message, Source says go directly to her, to him, whichever portion you work in, the divine masculine or the divine feminine, all right? Go directly. So if you're used to working with specific guides and angels, that's perfect. But if you're questioning, you're feeling like you're having to filter the message from them, and you're questioning, go straight to Source, okay? All right. The distortions and the filtration distorts the message. So you trying to adjust or tweak or change a word per it coming through is actually distorting, weakening, and the filtration distorts the messages. All right. So when you filtrate, it distorts it. And basically what's coming through right now as I'm rereading this, it basically weakens the channel. It weakens the signal. It's not as direct, and it's not as pure, is what she says. It's not as pure, okay? So with tough love, all capital letters, take the filters off. OFF, all capital letters, exclamation point. Completely set the ego mind aside and just deliver the message as it is received, okay? Send the ego to the way back seat, looking out the back window, okay? We, Mother and Father, Source, Creator, God, are here to activate and to help you heal and to elevate and to break you open even further. So you can go within and to heal those traumas, those triggers, those distortions, those programmings, those conditionings, those belief systems, etc., etc., etc. So stay fully unfiltered as the channeler, unapologetic and truthfully authentic, okay? And know that this is coming from the heart with unconditional love, okay? This is with the deepest, unconditional, tough love, all capital letters. For the highest and the best for all. This is including you as well as the channel. Okay, and this is also harm to none. All right, we always want to intend this is being received for the highest and best for all and harm to none, okay? Just because someone has a breakthrough or a breakdown doesn't mean there was harm done. It just means that you were sharing a message unfiltered and unapologetically in its purest form, which made the ego mind and the small self, the inner child, uncomfortable because it's ready to be cleansed, cleared, illuminated, healed, and let go. Okay? All right. So with divine light and, all right, so this is always for the highest and best for all and harm to none, through and with, as we say, divine light, divine love, divine empowerment, divine power, divine wisdom, divine truth, divine remembrance in all capital letters, and divine magic. It is all perfect in all capital letters, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Even if the messages feel like even if the messages coming through makes the ego mind uncomfortable, including yours. 10-2-2 on the timer. Transmission complete. So, beautiful souls, whether you've already been practicing or you're starting to step into those practices because you're being called to, again, you're being called to go a little deeper. So let's say, again, going back to the message from last night, if you've been practicing for a while, you've been awakened for a while, and you still have some dust bunnies and debris that needs to be cleared up, you may be being triggered just by this message, and it's all perfect, right? I'm not here to prove or to convince anything. I'm just here to share the message. And yes, my energy, I've said this before, is big energy. And I'm going to share another video about that because that came through as another download. So go check that out when I post that. So again, 11:11 on the timer. I am you and you are me and we are we. All right. And I've been through a lot of shit in my life, a lot of trauma, a lot of abuse, a lot of. I know I might not physically look like this. I have been. So continue to choose you, to take all of your armor off, all of the weight off that is no longer yours to carry. And if you are triggered, that is a sacred opportunity for you to say, okay, what is still unhealed in me at a core level? Because we want to clear so we can make space for all of this light and all of these codes that are coming through. All right, just because you awoken 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, doesn't mean you're going to not go through another awakening if you still have stuff that needs to be cleared up. And there's always work to do. You just get really good at transmuting and clearing and healing, okay? 12:12, and I'm just here as a reminder that this is possible. All right, this is possible. And the song that might help, if you go listen to it, let me see what came through. Did I write it down? Never Give Up by Rihanna. Go listen to that song and see if you receive any downloads. All right, I love you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.